the signal that shook the stars. The quiet space around the Orion belt was shattered by a sudden pulse, a strange signal traveling faster than light. On a small observation station orbiting a forgotten moon, a gray-skinned technician named Laro stared at the blinking console. He didn't know what the signal meant, but he knew one thing: it came from Earth. He stood up fast, almost knocking over his chair. "Call the High Council!" he shouted. The message spread quickly. Across the galaxy, species that once fought great wars stopped to listen. Everyone recognized the code. It was ancient, forbidden, and dangerous. It had only been used once before, over 100 years ago. It was the emergency activation code for Earth's warship, Titanus Rex. Long ago, Earth had joined the Galactic Council. At first, they were quiet, observers, learners. But when war came to their doorstep, humanity changed. They built something powerful, something the galaxy had never seen before. A single warship, larger than most space stations. A ship that didn't need a fleet. It was the fleet, Titanus Rex. After the Great Uprising, the Council begged Earth to stand down. The warship was hidden away, locked beneath layers of star-forged code and quantum seals. Earth agreed. Titanus Rex was placed in stasis in deep space, surrounded by warning beacons. It would only awaken if the same code was sent by a united Council emergency vote, but no such vote had taken place, so who had sent the code? Counselor Drell stood at the center of the Galactic Assembly, his long robes brushing the floor. "This signal is real," he said, "and it's too late to stop it. The Titan is awakening." Whispers turned to shouts. "It will destroy everything," one shouted. "We're not at war," cried another. But it didn't matter. Across the void, something ancient had stirred. On the edge of Earth's solar system, deep inside a black field of nothingness, a small flicker of blue light began to pulse. The Titan's shell, hidden in a dark cloak of gravity and static, cracked open like an egg. Inside, a city-sized engine hummed to life. Lights blinked, shields powered up. A voice echoed inside the chamber. Code recognized, Titanus Rex, powering on. In a control room at the center of the ship, a human figure lay still inside a stasis pod. His name was Commander Holt. Trained since birth, he had one job: to guide the Titan when it was needed again. No one had expected the call to ever come. Yet here it was. Holt's eyes snapped open. His first breath was heavy, like waking from a dream. He looked around. The control room was the same as he remembered: massive screens, AI nodes, and curved metal walls glowing softly. "Titan," he said. "Status report." A calm voice replied. "All systems online, weapons charged, engines ready, awaiting command." He sat up slowly. "Who sent the code?" "Unknown. But threat level. Maximum. Galactic request confirmed." Holt narrowed his eyes. Something was wrong. The Council wouldn't activate him unless the entire galaxy was in danger. Yet there was no warning, no message, just the signal. He rose to his feet and walked toward the main screen. Open external view. The hull peeled away, revealing the stars outside. The blackness of space stretched far, but something moved at the edge. Fleets. Hundreds of ships. But they weren't human. They weren't friendly either. Alien banners. Unknown tech. They had come to greet the Titan, or to stop it. Back on the Council world, panic was growing. Ambassador Velen, a thin creature with long fingers, whispered to her aide, "What if someone tricked the ship? What if they want to use the Titan for war?" The aide shook his head. "Then the galaxy has already lost." Far from all of them, the Titan began to hum louder. Red lines lit up the weapons bays. Shields flared. The engines sparked lightning into space. Commander Holt stood tall at the console and gave one order: set course for Council space. We're going to find out who woke us, and why. The galaxy had summoned Earth's most dangerous ship, and now it was on the move. The Forgotten War begins. Again Titanus. Rex moved through space like a silent storm. Its engines were quiet, but the power they held was terrifying. Ships watching from afar gave it a wide path. They had heard stories of how the Titan could destroy a planet in one shot, stories of how it turned an entire armada into dust during the old wars. Now those stories were becoming real again. Inside the command deck, Commander Holt scanned the data on the screen. He saw the alien fleets ahead. They were large and well-armed, but not enough to match the Titan. Still, Holt didn't attack. He wanted answers first. "Open wide-range comms," he ordered. A hologram flickered to life in front of him. A tall alien with dark skin, 4 eyes, and a silver uniform appeared. He looked nervous, his voice shaky. "You are the Titan. We didn't expect this." "Then who sent the activation code?" Holt asked firmly. The alien paused, then looked to someone off-screen. "It wasn't us. The code came from the Unity beacon, but we didn't authorize it." Holt frowned. "The Unity beacon? That's locked. Only the Council can access it." "That's what we thought too." Holt stepped closer to the screen. "Then who tampered with it?" The alien's voice dropped. "We believe someone inside the Council activated it. On purpose. That changed everything." Back on the Council world, tension was boiling over. Leaders from dozens of species were shouting in their chambers. Old enemies pointed fingers. Small worlds blamed the big ones. No one trusted anyone anymore. Counselor Drell slammed his hand on the table. "This ship is not a tool to play games with. Whoever did this has put us all at risk." A small, quiet voice spoke from the back of the room. It came from a short alien with pale skin and glowing eyes. He was one of the Keepers, an ancient group that protected the galaxy's oldest secrets. "The Titan was sealed for a reason," he said. "Only one being had the authority to override the Council's lock." "Who?" Drell asked. The Keeper looked around. "Earth itself." Gasps filled the room. Inside Titanus Rex, Holt was listening to everything. The ship's AI had picked up Council chatter. "Earth sent the code?" Holt said quietly. "But Earth left the Council 30 years ago. They swore never to interfere again." The AI answered, "Correct. But someone from Earth still had high-level access. The override was genuine. Then someone on Earth wants war." The silence inside the ship grew cold. Holt clenched his fists. He had seen what war did. He had buried friends under alien skies. He didn't want to go back. But if someone was using the Titan for their own plan, he had no choice. In a distant system, a hidden base came alive. Inside, a group of shadowy figures stood around a massive table. At the center was a screen showing the Titan moving through space. One of the figures, a human, smiled. "It worked," the man said. "The Titan has been awakened. Now the galaxy will fear Earth again." "But what about Holt?" someone asked. "He doesn't know the plan. He will follow orders. He was trained to." Another voice, deeper and colder, replied, "And if he doesn't, we'll make him." They had pulled strings from the shadows. They had sent the signal, and now their plan was in motion. They wanted the Titan to strike first. On board the ship, Holt looked out into space. His mind was racing. Questions with no answers. Trusts broken. A weapon that could shake the stars now back in his hands. "Titan," he said quietly. "Begin scans of nearby fleets, defensive only." "Acknowledged," the AI replied. He didn't want to fire. Not yet. Not until he knew the truth. But every second the pressure built, and far away more fleets began to move. Armies were gathering. Some wanted peace. Others wanted to destroy the Titan before it could act. The galaxy was on edge, and Earth's deadliest ship was at the center of it all. Whispers of rebellion Titanus Rex drifted through the stars with quiet power, each system it passed falling into silence. No one dared to move against it. News spread faster than light. Earth's warship was awake. Civilizations paused their wars. Old enemies held back their weapons. The galaxy held its breath. But not everyone wanted peace. In the shadows of the Coral cluster, a hidden rebel fleet began to gather. These weren't pirates or smugglers. They were former soldiers, Ex-council officers and leaders of forgotten colonies, people who had seen Earth's strength in the old days and feared its return. Inside the command ship of the rebels, a scarred general named Varn sat watching the Titan on a screen. His eyes were full of hatred. "It's moving toward council space," he growled. "If it gets there, they'll bow to Earth again." One of his officers looked unsure. "But it hasn't attacked anyone." Varn slammed his fist on the table. "It doesn't need to. That ship is a message. Earth wants control back, and they'll get it without firing a shot." The officer nodded slowly. "So, what do we do?" "We strike first." Meanwhile, aboard Titanus Rex, Holt studied the ship's data stream. Enemy fleets were moving into new formations. Some were defensive, but others were not. He turned to the AI. "How many ships are trailing us?" "4 large fleets. 1 moving. Aggressively. Estimated time to contact 6 hours. Origin? Unknown faction. Not council." Holt didn't like it. He had hoped his presence would bring questions, not weapons. "Send a warning," he said. "Standard message. Do. Not approach. No hostile intent." The AI obeyed. Still, the other ships kept coming. In council space, the assembly met again in emergency session. Every race had a representative, and every representative was nervous. "They're provoking the Titan," shouted one voice. "If it defends itself, the galaxy burns." "But we can't control the other factions," someone else argued. "Old enemies see this as their chance." Councillor Drell stood, his voice calm but sharp. "We have to speak with Holt. If he listens, maybe we can stop this." "But how do we reach him?" a Krolan ambassador hissed. "That ship is sealed. No outside signals accepted." Drell nodded. "Except from one person." Silence fell. Continued. "There's someone who trained with Holt, a human diplomat, retired now, but she might be able to talk him down." "Find her," another counselor said quickly, "before the rebels force the Titan's hand." Back on the warship, Holt stood alone in the observation dome. The stars stretched across the darkness, peaceful but full of hidden danger. He closed his eyes. He remembered the last war, the fire, the screams, the cost. He had sworn never to fight again unless it was necessary. But now, they were pushing him toward war. The AI's voice broke his thoughts. "Commander, incoming fleet is now in attack range. Weapons charging. Orders?" Holt didn't answer at first. His hand hovered over the screen. "No attack," he said firmly. "Raise shields. Prepare countermeasures only. Let them make the first move." The AI responded. "Understood. Defensive mode active." 6 hours later, the rebel fleet arrived. Dozens of ships appeared from hyperspace, engines roaring, weapons glowing red. They didn't ask questions. They didn't open communications. They opened fire. The first wave of plasma blasts slammed into Titanus Rex's shields. The ship didn't flinch. Its armor was layered with dark matter steel and advanced Earth tech no one else had ever matched. Inside, Holt gritted his teeth. Evasive mode, stay defensive. The ship dodged incoming missiles like a dancer. Shields shimmered with impact. Warning lights blinked, but damage was minimal. "Return fire?" the AI asked calmly. Holt stared at the main screen. He saw their faces. The enemies. They were scared, angry, misinformed, but they were still trying to kill him. "Target only. Their engines," he said. "We're not here to destroy, just stop them." The Titan responded like a beast holding back its fury. Beams of light shot out, not toward the hearts of the enemy ships, but toward their propulsion. Within minutes, 6 cruisers were floating powerless. The rest began to scatter. "Enemy fleet retreating," the AI announced. Holt exhaled. Good. He didn't want to be the villain. But in this galaxy, fear was louder than reason. And now, everyone would be watching what he did next. A voice from the past after. The rebel fleet's retreat, space was quiet again, but it was not peaceful. News of the short battle spread like fire across the galaxy. Everyone heard the same thing. Titanus Rex was active. It could have destroyed the rebels. But it didn't. Some called it mercy. Others called it strategy. Many feared what would happen next. Inside the ship, Commander Holt stood silently at the observation window. His reflection stared back at him, older, colder than he remembered. He wasn't the same man who had once fought proudly under Earth's flag. That man had buried too many friends. Status? He asked. System stable, the AI replied. Enemy fleet disabled. Damage minimal. No fatalities reported. Holt nodded. Good. Still, he knew that next time, he might not be so lucky, and next time they might force his hand. Suddenly, a soft beep echoed through the command deck. Incoming private transmission, the AI announced. Source, Council. Holt raised an eyebrow. They're reaching out? That's new. Sender is marked as civilian, the AI added. Name, Mira. Holt froze. That name, Mira, was from another life. Far away on a quiet world, Mira sat inside a small room. She wore simple clothes, far from the formal robes of her old life. Once, she had been Earth's top voice in the Council. Once she and Holt had worked side by side. Now the galaxy was falling apart again, and the Council had come begging for her help. She took a deep breath as the screen lit up. Hello, Holt. Inside Titanus Rex, Holt stared at the screen. Mira's face was older, but her eyes were the same. Calm, sharp, honest. I didn't expect to see you, Holt said. I didn't expect the Titan to wake up, she replied. He smiled slightly. Neither did I. They sat in silence for a moment. The hum of the ship filled the background. I need to know, Holt said. Did the Council send the code? Mira shook her head. No. The signal came from Earth, a secret group. Some of them used to work for the Council. Others were part of Earth's old defense program. They want to bring Earth back to power by force if needed. And they're using me to do it. Yes. Holt clenched his fists. They want the galaxy to fear Earth again. They want control, Mira said quietly. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to follow their plan. Holt looked away. You think I'm just going to ignore orders? I think, she said softly. You're still the man who once saved a city from burning just because it was the right thing to do. I think you still believe in peace. Back in Council chambers, the leaders watched the call unfold. They were nervous but hopeful. If Mira could reach Holt, maybe the Titan could stand down, but not everyone agreed. In a dark corner of the Council, an angry voice whispered through a private comm. Send the next wave. He's hesitating. Are you sure? The reply came. Yes. If we wait too long, he might refuse to act. We can't risk losing control of the Titan. Holt paced the command deck after the call. Mira's words played in his mind. He trusted her. He always had. But was he strong enough to resist Earth's shadow orders? Titan, he said. Pull up Earth's command trail. Show me who really sent the activation code. A moment later, names and access points lit up the main screen. Holt's face turned grim. He recognized them. Generals, politicians, even some scientists. All part of a secret division once buried by Earth's last administration. So they had prepared this plan for years. Waiting, planning, hoping the galaxy would get weak again. Target? The AI asked. No, Holt whispered. Not yet. He stared at the screen again, then said louder, record a message. Broadcast across all Council systems. Ready, said the AI. Holt spoke clearly. This is Commander Holt of Titanus Rex. I did not come to fight. I came because I was activated without my consent. I know who sent the code, and I will deal with them. But if anyone else tries to use this ship for war, I will not be kind. The Titan belongs to no one, and I serve no master. Across the stars, his message echoed. Some cheered, some panicked. But one thing was clear. Titanus Rex was not just a weapon anymore. It was a warning. The betrayal, Protocol Commander Holt sat in silence after his message was sent. The ship felt heavier now, as if the very walls could feel the storm approaching. His voice had gone out across the galaxy, clear, firm, and independent. But he knew the people who activated him wouldn't stay quiet. He was right. Moments later, the Titan's AI chimed in, its voice tight and alert. Commander, unauthorized signal detected. Origin, Earth. Access level, override black. Holt turned sharply. Override black? That code was destroyed. Someone rebuilt it, the AI replied. They are attempting to take control of navigation and weapon systems. Suddenly, the lights on the bridge flickered, a loud hum passed through the ship. Holt grabbed the railing as the deck vibrated. They're trying to take the ship from me, he muttered. They want to force the Titan into war. Firewall initiated, the AI responded. Countering breach attempt. Estimated time to lockdown 4 minutes, that's 4 minutes too long. Holt raced to the main interface console. He placed his hand on the security scanner. Activate Protocol Phoenix. The AI paused. Warning. Protocol Phoenix will isolate command systems. Once activated, Earth's command access will be erased. Do it. Confirmed. Protocol Phoenix initiating. The ship's lights pulsed red, then blue, then dimmed. Across all systems, Earth's command codes were burned away. Holt had made it so only he could control Titanus Rex now. The override failed, but the damage was done. The people on Earth had made their move. On Earth, inside a hidden bunker beneath the old defense center, chaos broke out. The group that had secretly activated the Titan was now in full panic. He locked us out, shouted one of the engineers. A tall man in a gray coat slammed his fist on the table. He was supposed to follow orders. He was trained. We underestimated him, someone muttered. The tall man turned to a younger officer. Send the contingency. Fleet. He won't listen? Then we make him listen. Prepare the Pulse-class interceptors. We take him down. But he's one ship, the officer said, afraid. A big one, yes, but he's the ship, the man cut in. We have to destroy him before he exposes everything. Back on Titanus Rex, Holt stood at the observation window again. His jaw was tight, his eyes cold. They didn't just try to control me, he said aloud. They were ready to burn me down. The AI responded. Multiple warships leaving Earth. Interceptors, high speed, high power. Estimated time to contact. 12 hours. They're sending their own to kill their own, Holt muttered. They think I'm the problem, but they're the ones who broke the peace. For the first time in years, he felt truly alone. He had always known the Titan was a powerful weapon, but now he realized something else. He was the only thing standing between peace and total war, and Earth had just made him the enemy. In council space, the assembly heard Holt's message and Earth's silence afterward. They tried to override him, Counselor Drell said, staring at the data, and he refused. The room filled with whispers. He's not acting like a soldier, someone said. He's acting like a protector, someone else added. Mira stood at the edge of the room, listening. Her heart was heavy. Send him support, she said. Send a peace fleet, not to fight but to stand with him. Let the galaxy know he's not alone. Some council members nodded. Others still feared the Titan, but slowly, agreement spread. It was time to choose sides. Hours passed. Holt stood on the bridge, staring at the star map. Any response from the council, he asked. Positive, the AI said. They are sending a neutral fleet. Non-combat. Message. You do not stand alone. Holt closed his eyes for a moment, then gave a small smile. Finally, he whispered. Someone understands. But the smile faded as the AI gave the next report. Warning. Incoming Earth fleet detected. Pulse-class interceptors. Orders unknown, but weapons hot. Time? 5 hours. Holt nodded slowly. Then we have 5 hours to prepare. The galaxy had feared the Titan for a long time. Now they would see what happened when it refused to be a weapon. Earth fires, first Titanus. Rex drifted near a dead moon, silent and still, but it was not at rest. Every system inside the ship was humming. Defense grids were primed, energy shields shimmered like glass in the void. Drones moved across the hull like busy insects, scanning and reinforcing. Commander Holt stood at the command deck, arms crossed, eyes locked on the approaching red markers blinking on the screen. The Earth fleet was coming fast. ETA? He asked, quietly. 48 minutes, the AI replied. Weapons locked. All interceptors show aggressive stance. They're not here to talk, Holt said. No, the AI agreed. They're here to erase you. Across the stars, the neutral council fleet arrived just outside the battle zone. They kept a safe distance, engines low and weapons cold. Their ships were marked with white lights and open communication codes. They sent one simple message. We. Stand witness? No one fights alone. Holt saw it appear on his console and nodded once. It didn't change the odds, but it changed the meaning. He wasn't just defending himself now, he was defending the idea that Earth didn't control him anymore. In the Earth Fleet's command ship, Admiral Kieran paced with steady steps. Her face was stone cold. Titanus Rex has gone rogue, she said. If we don't destroy it, the galaxy will never fear Earth again. One of her officers hesitated. Ma'am, we trained Holt. He's not a traitor. Kieran narrowed her eyes. Then he's a broken tool. She raised her hand. Target all core systems, no survivors. Her ships moved into formation like sharp blades. 20 advanced interceptors. Fast. Armed. Built for one thing, to kill what no one else could. Inside Titanus Rex, the alarm blared softly. Locking targeting systems, the AI said. They are aiming at reactor core and control tower. No attempt to hail. Holt nodded slowly. They want this over fast. He walked to the weapon console and paused. His hand hovered above the button. Are you going to strike first? The AI asked. No, he said, but I'm not going to die either. The Earth fleet entered range and fired. A rain of plasma beams, torpedoes, and particle lances surged toward the Titan like a swarm of angry stars. The Council fleet held position, their screens showing every second of the incoming attack. The Titan didn't move at first. Then, boom! The first wave hit the outer shields. The glow flared. The shock shook the nearby moon. But the Titan stood strong. Minimal damage, the AI confirmed. Shields at 91%. Holt exhaled. Return fire. Target weapon systems only. Show them. We're not here to kill, but we will not fall. The Titan's guns came alive. Not all of them. Just enough to speak. 3 beams fired across space, faster than thought. They slammed into the lead interceptor, disabling its weapons. 2 more shots struck the flanks of the fleet, knocking missiles out of space before they could detonate. The Earth ships danced through space, fast and sharp, but the Titan was smarter and angrier. Inside the Council flagship, the diplomats watched. With awe, he's holding back, one ambassador whispered. He could destroy them all. But he's choosing not to, Mira said. He still believes in peace. Even now. Another said softly. He's not Earth's war machine anymore. He's something else. Back on Earth, panic hit the secret. Command bunker. They can't break him, someone shouted. He's disabling our fleet, without killing. Another gasped. Admiral Kieran's voice boomed through a secure channel. He's sending a message. We sent war. He's sending restraint. That message will cost us everything. They knew what would happen next. The Council would no longer fear Earth. They would admire Holt. Inside Titanus Rex, Holt stared at the damage report. 3 Earth interceptors were floating, disabled. No deaths. The rest were retreating, scattering, into hyperspace one by one. Battle complete, the AI said. Enemy retreat confirmed. Holt finally sat down. His voice was quiet. We could have ended them. You chose not to, the AI said. I didn't wake this ship to destroy, Holt replied, but they gave me no choice to sit still. Mira's voice came through again. You did what no one else could, she said. You faced Earth's fury and showed the galaxy something stronger than power. Holt gave a tired smile. Now, let's finish this. He turned to the AI. Set course for Earth, no stealth, no weapons primed, just us. Destination locked, the AI replied. Time to return home, Holt said, but not as a weapon. Return of the Titaness Rex moved through deep space, its path clear and bold. There were no cloaks, no tricks. The galaxy saw it coming. The most dangerous warship Earth had ever created was heading home, but not as a conqueror. Commander. Holt stood tall at the command deck, hands behind his back, eyes locked on the growing image of Earth ahead. The blue and green planet looked peaceful from here. Gentle. Beautiful. But he knew better. Beneath those clouds were secrets, lies, people who had tried to use him and this ship as a weapon of fear. Not anymore. Back in Earth's secret command center, alarms were already blaring. He's coming here, one officer said. Why isn't he firing? Another asked, confused. Admiral Kieran stood motionless. Because he wants us to make the first mistake again. The screens showed Titanus Rex entering Earth's orbit, slow and steady. No weapons charged, no shields raised. Just presence. Silent, impossible presence. We lost. Kieran finally whispered. Not to his fire, but to his choice. The Council watched from afar. The galaxy had witnessed every moment of the Titan's return. Every race, every world, every leader now knew. Holt had the power to destroy but never used it. He had rewritten what it meant to hold true strength. Mira stood before the Council assembly. Her voice rang out. Let today be remembered. Not as the day Earth returned with fire, but the day the Titan refused to burn. Commander Holt has shown us that peace is a decision, not a weakness. Applause filled the chamber. Some were still unsure, but none could deny what they saw. The warship had returned, to protect, not to rule. Inside Titanus Rex, the AI spoke. Orbit stable. Earth communication channels open, awaiting orders. Holt nodded. Broadcast wide. One last message. He stepped to the center console, cleared his throat, and began. This is Commander Holt. I was activated without my consent. Ordered to strike. Forced into a war I never agreed to. I chose another path. Earth built this ship to protect, not to control. The Council once feared us, then forgot us. Now, they remember. I do not come as a threat. I come as a reminder. Power without purpose is destruction. Power with choice is strength. Titanus Rex will never be used for fear again. Not by Earth, not by the Council, not by anyone. We are not weapons. We are protectors. And we have returned home. The signal ended. The silence that followed stretched across space. Down on Earth, in cities across the globe, people looked up. Some were afraid, some were ashamed. But many were proud. Children pointed at the sky, seeing the shining ship above. Elders remembered stories of war. Now they saw peace. In the secret facility, Admiral Kieran turned and walked out without a word. Her control was gone. Her plan had failed. The world had seen the truth, and the truth had won. A few days later, Holt stood at the top of a landing platform just outside Geneva. The Council fleet had landed nearby. Diplomatic teams arrived. Earth leaders came forward, not with demands, but with lowered heads. Mira stood beside him. You changed everything, she said. No, he replied, watching the stars. The galaxy just needed to see someone say no to war. And what now? She asked. Holt looked at the Titan in the sky, hovering silently. It'll stay in orbit, as a guardian, as a message. He turned back to her. If anyone tries to wake it again with lies, I'll still be here. She smiled. You've become more than a commander. He shook his head. I've just remembered what it means to protect. In the end, the galaxy didn't fear the Titan anymore. They respected it because power isn't what you use to destroy, it's what you choose not to.